Hello everybody. Today is the last day of 2024. It's a beautiful day here in South Alabama. Look at that. Just out here at the hangar messing around, and I saw a video the other day by Fly 8 Mike Alpha. I don't remember his name, but I watch his stuff once in a while. He had a very interesting thing on there about grounding the aircraft during refueling, and if you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to watch it. But one of the things that he said, you know, where do we normally ground an airplane when we're fueling them up? A lot of people use exhaust. Some people use the tie downs, and he said those are not good places to use. And one of the things he did was he checked the continuity between the exhaust on his airplane to where they put the fuel in, and there was no continuity, which means you can put a ground there all day long and it's not going to be grounded. So hopefully you won't get a spark. And one of the things that he did was he actually filed a little bit and on the exhaust pipe and tried to get a ground that way, and it did not work. So it got me to thinking, I want to check mine. I'm going to show you what I found on my plane. You can see I got my trusty little voltmeter here. I'm going to put it on continuity there. Check it. Maybe you can hear that. All right, but I want to show you something. When I checked between the end of the muffler, the end of the exhaust right there, where you would hook a grounding clamp from a fuel station. When I check continuity between that point and where you put the fuel in, where the nozzle would be touching, I had no continuity. Same thing on both of my tie downs. The only one I had continuity on was the left exhaust pipe. So then I thought, well, let me just look at this, so once again, you can see there's no resistance there, but look at this. I gotta hold this, all right? Nothing. Now I do have continuity down here. See that? I don't know if you can hear the tone, but I do have continuity in this area. So that's good news. But up here, you can see nothing. So here is what I'm going to do to make sure that my aircraft is properly grounded before I fuel it up. I went and bought a piece of grounding, just as a piece of copper wire. I'm going to shorten that, of course. And I soldered this right here. I'll put some heat shrink over that here in a few minutes. But what I decided I would do to make sure that the aircraft is grounded to the airframe, that the muffler is grounded to the airframe, is I'm going to file a little spot right here, and the same thing on the other muffler, and attach this under a hose clamp. And then the other end, this piece of wire that I soldered on right here, I'm leaving it long right now. Of course, it won't be that long, but I will, when this is, I'm going to file like I did right there, a little spot down here a little closer. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I could do it right there, and the same thing on the other side. And so that I connect this and the other exhaust pipe. And I'm doing that because I think that's where most people ground their airplanes, is the exhaust. I've seen some doing it at the tie downs, but I like the exhaust. Although I was fooling myself until I watched his video. Okay, you can see I got a little spot filed on the bottom of the exhaust for that copper wire to be up against with the hose clamp around it. Did the same thing on both sides. So let's see if we can get that installed. But here was my solution. Piece of 12 gauge grounding wire from a hardware store. At first I thought, gosh, I wish I could have got something smaller, but that was the smallest they had. And after I got here and started working on it, I realized I'm glad I got 12 gauge, because where this just runs right through there, it won't be vibrating or nothing. But you can see what I did. Through here, got a little flat spot on the wire, and I, just like right here, just like that, I filed a little spot on the exhaust pipe, and then held it up there with my stainless steel clamp, that flat spot against that area that's like that right here. Ran it through. I did the same thing on the other side. Here's the other side. Right there where that copper wire is hitting the exhaust is a little area that I filed. So it's got great contact. And again, a stainless steel clamp. And like I said, that shouldn't vibrate or anything going through there. So I'm glad I ended up with a heavier wire. And on this side here is I got a wire, my air box going up through the carburetor, right in through the engine, and then of course the ground coming out of the engine right there and going to the firewall. So let's test this out and see if it solved the problem. So what I've done is I've got this extension coming off of the multimeter leads that I've hooked right there, and going down here just as if I was going to gas the plane up. Hook that right on the exhaust pipe, just like you would at a fuel pump. I'm going to set this here, and let's see if I have continuity, which would mean that would get rid of any static charge before you fueled. So here we go. Let's check. This is where you're going to put the fuel pump in, and that's going to touch this airframe part. That's the spot you don't want to spark. So let's see. Perfect. I don't have to scratch it or nothing, just touch. I don't know if you can hear the tone. Yep, I like that. And I actually already checked the other side. I checked both exhaust pipes. I still have good continuity to both fuel tanks. So should never have a spark. And I'm glad to come across Fly 8 Mike Alpha's video. So kudos to him for pointing that out. And I would encourage everybody, check your planes. Thanks for watching. Give me a like and a subscribe. See you next time.